welcome back to Open, everyone. The color of, the color of power. How could I forget? It's the color of power. And that's Heroes, Sheroes, and their creators. That's a new upcoming exhibition showcasing the independent work of professional comic book artists of the African diaspora. It's also meant to create a conversation of the African diaspora experience and the transference of stories given to these superhero characters. And joining us to tell us more about the exhibition, we welcome the Caribbean Cultural Center African Diaspora Institute Executive Director, Melody Capote, and guest curator and creator of La Borinqueña, Edgardo Miranda Rodriguez, and artist Alitha Martinez. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Welcome. Thank you for being here. And thank you for giving me that power. I was like, oh
That's
my
what it's about. It's all about giving power.
It is about giving power, and we're so grateful to y'all for bringing it here to our viewers and sharing with us. Edgardo, you're doing amazing stuff, and I'm going to get to you in a second, but I want to share with everyone a little bit about what Melody is doing. I mean, congratulations on your new role as the executive director.
Thank you.
I mean, I think it's been a year now or so,
It's a little
and
over a
you've been
year.
doing a phenomenal job. Let's just share with everyone, I guess, the how you make your choices in the art as well as the programming.
Well, important to the center is that we look at the commonalities we share, the common thread we share as people of African descent. And now that we're in a new location, we had a renovated firehouse in El Barrio on 125th between Lexington and Park. We want to make very conscious decisions about the types of programming that we provide to the public, who are coming to this space and saying, wow, this looks like, this belongs downtown. And we're saying, no, we have excellence in our own backyard and in our own communities. And we're making very kind of strategic decisions about the kinds of shows we're presenting so that the community does feel welcome and are engaged and aren't kind of feeling distant from what galleries and arts institutions are supposed to do, which is to engage communities and make art accessible, and most importantly, have art and representation that looks like us. Exactly. And that is exactly the work that we're doing on a consistent basis.
Yes, and Edgardo. All right, and thank you for doing that, and thank you for being a stand for that. But going to your style of communicating, your style of being that voice. This graphic novel, just seeing it's its own culture. I mean, if my daughter was here, she would be going gaga over the fact that you're here again, because La Borinqueña is her favorite graphic novel. So thank you for producing that and creating that, and share with everyone how you've been able to expand on that, because you're doing really great stuff.
Well, the work that I'm doing has always been about celebrating our heritage and connecting us to our roots and our history. And this opportunity the Melody has given me as being a guest curator at the Caribbean Culture Center allows me the opportunity to highlight artists like Alitha Martinez, Ronald Wimberly, Afua Richardson, Neela Magruder, and Sanford Green, award-winning artists. In the comic book industry, we have our own Oscars. We call it the Eisners. We're sitting next to an Eisner award-winning artist, Alitha Martinez. She's one of our community's best, an incredibly prolific artist with work in Marvel and other imprints, but she also, like the artists in this show, have created her own work. You Man Ever is her own independent series that she's created, and this is an opportunity when people come to the Caribbean Culture Center to see original work owned by the artist creating it. And it's important because when we see these films on the big screen, the characters, the actors that are playing these roles, these superheroes, are not owned by the actors, are not owned by the artists that created it. But these artists, these characters, these projects are all owned by the artists. This book in the middle, Prince of Cats, was just announced this week. Spike Lee is going to be directing this graphic novel into a film. Just last month, Bitterroot was just announced that Ryan Coogler, the director of Black Panther, will be making that into a major motion picture. So we have award-winning artists in our show, and we also have projects, independent books that are going to be made into feature motion pictures.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Amazing. And I know it's a big deal, and I hope everyone's getting what type of a big deal is, because it's challenging to go and put your blood, sweat, and tears in and use up your creative juices, and then somebody else basically owns the rights to it.
Oh, the way you stare at me.
Yes, only because you're the Eisner winner, and you've been there. You've done the commercial, and now you're here with us doing the community, which is lovely.
Well, first I say I love working for Marvel in DC. Was my childhood dream. I just didn't know it was a dream that women did not share, much as minority women. So it was a uphill battle all the way. Then you finally reach the top of that hill and you realize, oh, I've got to keep climbing. There's a long way more to go. That's why I created You, Me, and Ever and Foreign. It's sort of like an outlet for myself. That's Foreign is also my book. It's my sci-fi action drama. My son and I actually pressed this book in the house ourselves because, you know, there's not enough art in our life. And I like to work in like a little sweatshop. So there we go. So we make it, we come out and we sell it at comic book conventions because I always say Marvel and DC, they don't need me to sell their books. I need to show my own work and sell and present that to the public because no one else will if I don't.
And that's what this exhibition is really all about, giving artists an opportunity to showcase their work, showcase their talents, showcase their stories. Alitha will be at the Caribbean Cultural Center actually leading a workshop on head drawing. Can you tell us a little bit about that the workshop you're going to be giving?
Well, I also teach at SVA, teach Drawing 1 and Drawing 2, which is a whole other story because that's a school I could not graduate from because of the very male-centric culture. Now I'm actually a teacher there 20 years later, and that's part of what I teach in my curriculum. I also work with the U.S. State Department, and I go around the world spreading the love of comics and classes very much like how to draw heads. It's breaking it down to the numbers, to what anyone can do, because we are all artists inside. We are all very good at discerning the human mask, which is our faces, and we can learn to draw this. So I created a booklet and a program where you can pick this up, and by the end, you're drawing the human face.
That's lovely. And so are these going to be listed on the CCADI's website?
Yeah, all of the public programs will be listed. And again, it's really an opportunity for us to serve as a platform to highlight the beauty and the excellence that comes from our own community. And when we talk about superheroes, it's an opportunity for us to think about the human element and the hero that lives within each of us. So with the color of power, that was the intention in naming the show what it is. It's the superheroes that live in each one of us through social justice, through cultural equity, through inclusion, on an everyday basis, not segmented into kind of celebrations of ethnic months like Hispanic Heritage or Black History Month, but all year round.
All year
and
round,
really looking at
which
that
is why it's
excellence.
on display until June 2020.
Yeah. And
Very
we're inviting,
good. Well
we're inviting
done.
schools to come because there's a long year and a half year that will be up. So schools are more than welcome to attend, do
Have
workshops.
workshops
I'll be
and
there to
present.
lead workshops as well. So it's a great opportunity. And a great
Oh, we're
space.
going to be there. My daughter's a manga drawer, so thank you all for bringing it to
good.
El Barrio. And once again, you guys, the Color of Power heroes, Sheroes, and their creators, opening reception will take place on Saturday, November 16th, and that's happening at CCADI's, which is the Caribbean Cultural Center Afro Diaspora Institute at 120 East 125th Street. And for more information, you can visit cccadi.org. All right, stay tuned because Baba C's weekly sports roundup is coming up next.